Hello everybody, I hope you're all keeping very well. My name is Martin Doran and I'm a coach at St Catherine's Boxing Club. There's a lot of coaches at the moment uploading videos to Facebook and just giving people some of their knowledge on boxing, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. And if you look at some of the coaches like Igor from Smithfield, really knowledgeable coach, showing a lot about strength and conditioning and other aspects of boxing, very interesting, something I learned a lot from in such a short video. And the same with Johnny Joyce, a really great coach in Ireland, producing a lot of champions, also boxed in the Beijing Olympics himself. He also uploaded a couple of videos and I'm learning from that. So I think, if we can all learn something from each other, then obviously we all benefit from it. So I decided that I'd upload my own video with the main emphasis on the fundamentals of boxing, because without the fundamentals, you're not going to be a really well-rounded boxer. So, and it's been proven that better mechanics equals fewer mistakes. So I just want to be able to bring you through the 6 basic punches in boxing, your boxing stance. I'll bring you through the mechanics of slipping, rolling, and then I'll bring you through parallel and diagonal movement in boxing. So the first thing we want to start off with is establishing a good stance. And at St Catherine's Boxing Club, we have a toe to heel stance. So if we look at it from side on, it looks like this. So you've got a toe, your right toe should be in line with your left heel, and it's the same from this position here. So it's there, toe to heel. Now if you want to find that toe to heel stance, you put your feet together. Okay, feet should be shoulder width apart. If you're right with your right hand, just put your right foot back about 3 inches, and then you've got your boxing stance. Okay, if you're right with your left hand, feet shoulder width apart, left foot goes back about 3 inches. Okay, so it's very close to a natural stance. If you can think about yourself waiting for the bus stop, you might stand there like this waiting for the bus stop, and if you look down at your feet, you've got a natural stance or close enough to it. So we want to try and emulate that in boxing. The reason why we have a toe to heel stance is that it allows you to move more freely and generate more power through the different punches that you're going to be throwing, as well as that it allows you to do the same time punch much easier. Yeah, so that's what we want to be able to do there. So you've got your toe to heel stance. I'm an orthodox boxer, or was an orthodox boxer. So you've got your toe to heel stance, and then you get your hands up, elbows should be tucked in, guard nice and high. Okay, so that's the first step. The next thing I want to bring you through is the very 6 basic punches in boxing, which is 2 straight punches, 2 uppercuts, and 2 hooks. Okay, so we all have a lead hand, we all have a rear hand, or a backhand as some people like to call it. Either or is fine. And I suppose one of the things that interests me a lot about boxing is the mechanics, and I was very fortunate to spend a little bit of time with Billy Walsh when he was the head coach of Irish boxing. And he said to me, if you want to produce good boxers, and this was when I first started coaching 6 or 7 years ago, he said to me, if you want to produce really good boxers, make sure they do the basics very well, and spend time with them on the mechanics of punching and the mechanics of movement and so on. So very lucky in that regard, and that's one thing that we really spend a lot of time on at St Catherine's Boxing Club, is the fundamentals of boxing, and making sure that all of our boxers move correctly and punch correctly as well. So if you look at some people, they'll throw punches like this. So while these are 2 straight punches and are 2 basic punches in boxing, they're not really doing anything. There's not much power in them because it's just their arms moving. So what we want to be able to do is, we want you to be able to turn, rotate your hip, rotate your shoulder, and fully extend your arms all the way out. One hand is defending and one hand is attacking. Okay? If you look, I'm bringing my heel up off the ground. So if you think about it, as the heel comes up off the ground, my right hip turns, my right shoulder turns, and my right arm goes all the way out. So I'm generating maximum power there. Okay? So from this position, I'm reaching out all the way, getting full extension, getting good rotation through my hip and my shoulder, and I'm bringing my heel up off the ground. Okay, so you're making very few mistakes as you do that. Your head should always be pointing forward. You're all the time looking at your opponent. Okay, the next thing then we want to be able to show you is the uppercuts. So the same principles apply, where you're bringing your heel up off the ground, you're turning your hip, you're turning your shoulder, and you're bringing the punch up. Okay, so there your uppercuts done. The next thing you want to be able to do is to throw hooks correctly. And everybody has their own way of throwing a hook. But I was very fortunate to meet a man, Bodo Andreas. He was a coach for 5 Olympic Games, and he's now an assessor for AIBA. And I met him on the 1-star coaching course, and he said to me, he said, you need to be throwing your hooks correctly. He said you can lose power very, very quickly in your hooks. So for example, if you throw your hook like that, that might work for you in short range, but the power is going out here, going out your elbow. So he said if you bring it around longer, so you're bending your arm, he says you won't lose the power. So again, if you think about it, you're bringing your body weight through the punch, up through the punch, like this, and you're generating good power. So there's our 6 basic punches in boxing. You can also practice the same 6 punches to the body if you want. 2 straight to the body, 2 uppercuts, and 2 hooks to the body as well. So what we've done now is we've established our boxing stance. We've done the 6 basic punches in boxing. The next thing we're going to move on to is the mechanics of slipping. And these again are something we go over with the boxers all the time in the club. Usually we'll spend about between 20 and 25 minutes on the fundamentals until the kids understand them really, really well. So if you can think about, if I want to slip out to my right, okay, some people just move their head out of the way, and that's fine, but you also have to be aware that if you don't move your feet, you're in a static position. If you come back in line to where you originally were, there may be a backhand coming over to you, and that's going to be a high impact punch that you're going to be receiving. So what we want to be able to do is hands up nice and high, and we want to do 2 things at the same time. So we want to take a step with our right foot, if we're slipping out to the right, and we want to take our head out of the way of the punch, like that, okay? Now, there's a couple of things that you need to know. So I don't need to slip all the way out there for 2 reasons. One, it's going to take me too long to get back over to reach my opponent with my own punch. And the second thing is, it's a waste of time and energy, okay? So all I need to do is just slip the width of the glove that's coming at me and be able to attack with my own punch, okay? Again, when I slip out here to the right, I'm transferring the body weight here onto my right leg, so I can generate maximum power through that punch. It's the same when I'm slipping out to the left. My right foot stays planted. I just slip the width of the glove like so. I'm taking the step and I'm taking my head out of the way of the shot. It's also put me in a position where I have my body weight planted and I can throw my own punch back with it. So they're very basic. So, you know, make sure you're taking that step, taking your head out of the way of the punch, but also making sure that your lead hand is up high, because when you come back in, you might be meeting a punch. The same when you're going out, slipping out to the left, right hand has to be nice and high, okay? So from there, we're going to go on to our rolling. Rolling is very important. Obviously, you're evading a punch and you're also putting yourself into a position where you can generate maximum power with your own shots that you may be coming back with. So if I'm in my boxing stance here, okay, I need to take 2 steps, 1 step with each foot for 1 roll. So I'm going to step, bend my knees and roll under the punch, okay? The thing about rolling is you don't need to roll all the way down. Again, you just need to dip under the punch. You've got to measure the height of your opponent and look and say, do we need to dip really low, or do we just need to, just enough to get under the punch, okay? Obviously if your opponent is shorter than you, you're not going to be rolling under his or her punches. So we want to keep our hands up nice and high, take that step, bend our knees and maintain our shape throughout the movement, okay? I'll see an awful lot of boxers doing this. They'll roll like this and straight away they've lost their vision. If you lose your vision, you could be getting caught with a punch, and as Andy Lee, a world champion, will say, the punch you don't see coming is the punch that knocks you out. So again, you're all the time looking at your opponent as you're rolling, okay? So what we've done now is we've got our boxing stance, we've gone through our 6 punches of boxing, we've done our slips and we've done our rolls. The next thing I want to be able to show you is parallel movement. So parallel movement is basically punching same hand, same leg. So if I'm moving forward, it's left hand with left leg, right hand with right leg, left hand with left leg, and right hand with right leg. Okay. When you finish throwing an attack, you should be back into your boxing stance. The same when you go back, you should be back into your boxing stance. So you can do your 6 basic punches with parallel movement going forwards and backwards. And I'm going to show them to you now. So you've got your straight punches. So again, same hand, same leg. Look, left hand, left leg, right hand, right leg. Yeah? And you can walk forward practicing that in your boxing club. Okay? And mainly you would use same hand, same leg if you're doing a 1-phase attack. Okay? The other punches you can do is, you can do your uppercuts as well. Same thing, fundamentals of boxing, same hand, same leg. And then you can do your hooks. Okay, like so. Probably doesn't feel as natural. Going backwards then, parallel boxing is actually opposite hand, opposite leg. So if I'm in my boxing stance, if I want to step backwards, I've got to step up my right leg and throw my left hand. Okay? So like so. So left hand to the right leg, right hand to the left leg, like so. So what I'm getting is, I'm getting me balance throughout all the movements. The same then, if I wanted to throw an uppercut, it'd be the exact same thing, left hand to the right leg. Yeah, very simple. So left hand to the right leg, right uppercut to the left leg. Very simple. The same with the hook. Step back with the lead hand, with the rear leg, and then right hand with the left leg, and I'm back into my boxing stance. Diagonal boxing then, and this is the last thing I'll show you today, is working opposite hand, opposite leg. So you would incorporate your 6 basic punches in boxing with this. So it's basically just walking opposite hand, opposite leg. And what this allows you to do is, it allows you to generate a lot more power than maybe same hand, same leg. Some people might disagree, some might agree. And mainly when we would use the opposite hand, opposite leg, is maybe on the second phase of a 2-phase attack. So if I wanted to throw 1, 2, slip, 1, 2, 3, I would step same hand, same leg for the first phase of the attack. That's parallel boxing. Then I slip a potential punch and I attack then opposite hand, opposite leg, and I'm back into my boxing stance, and I've got 2-phase attack successfully completed, or hopefully successfully completed. And again, like, you know, you can do different punches walking forward, opposite hand, opposite leg. You can throw uppercuts, hooks, and again, you're focusing on rotating your hip, rotating your shoulders, and generating as much power as possible. So that's all I have to show you for today. Maybe tomorrow, over the next few days, I'll upload a video of maybe technical and tactical boxing, and some of the things that I've learned from the likes of Jimmy Halpin. He's an old man. Some of the things that I learned from Jimmy Payne, and some of the things that I learned from Zora Antia and Fran Long and Tony Davis. So really, really successful coaches and really good people in boxing. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you all learned something from it. Thanks.